Well, hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder. I'm Corny Swiss, and today I thought I'd make this video. I haven't done this in so long, and I mean, there's good reasons for that. It's, you know, exams week, it's the end of classes, you know, it's a very stressful time in terms of schoolwork, and the schedule becomes very tight. But you know, I thought I mean, I owe it to y'all to at least tell you what's going on, and try and keep up as much as possible with, in some way, what's expected. So I thought I'd just make this video and really talk more about what's gone on the last couple weeks, and then rather than like gameplay, we'll start with gaming news. So 1.49 or whatever they're calling it dropped, which is nice, and with it brought American tank destroyers, and I'm going to be doing reviews on the American tank destroyers. I have one almost ready, and it'll be kind of working up the tree as I am able to unlock them. Also, they've changed some parts of maps. For example, here you're going to watch me just struggle to climb this little ledge here, which I don't like, but whatever. So in the new update, we got American tank destroyers. You start off with a new reserve tank, the M2A2, I believe, and then you go to the M3, like half-track RD piece, basically, followed up by the M10, the Wolverine, I believe, and then the Hellcat with a premium version, and the next one I believe is the M36 Jackson, or the Slugger, whatever you want to call it, which seems like a pretty nice looking tank. And then you have the T95 rounding out the top of the tree with the T28 Premium. Now, on a cursory glance looking at these tank destroyers, they all seem to have something they're really good at. Now, just from listening to people and hearing what people have to say in game and reading Reddit and things like that, it seems like a lot of people like the American tank destroyers, and I think there's some good reasons for that. Starting from the bottom, the M3 half-track, it's very agile, it's very quick. It's basically a truck, and it turns really well. The gun is very quick, has a very good rate of fire, and it's a 75mm gun with a lot of punch and a good AP round. That's something that American tanks have kind of lacked outside of the Shermans. Well, the early Shermans, is a good armor-piercing explosive round. And as far as I can tell, all the tank destroyers have that. Maybe with the exception being the T95, but it's more of a penetration shell. So the M3 is a pretty solid tank destroyer. It's an early tier tank destroyer, 2.3 battle rating. It's solid. It's very good, I think. You get to the M10, which is the tank destroyer I'm currently playing, and I'm just about to get my Hellcat. A lot of people really like the M10, and I can see why. It's actually a pretty agile tank destroyer. It has a very powerful gun, lots of penetration. It's a 3.3 battle rating, so it's a good pair for your M4A1. The turret turns really, really slow, but it has pretty decent armor, it seems. I mean, usually when I get knocked out, it's from the sides or the rear rather than from the front, but I have been killed from the front. And the gun it's a very solid gun. I like it a lot. And I mean, those are the only two I've really gotten to play. I should have the Hellcat very soon. I might even get it when I play again tonight. But yeah, from what I hear, the Hellcat's also a very fun tank. Now, it's kind of good and bad. The tank I'm most excited for, other than the T95, because honestly, the T95 is my favorite tank ever, just because. Even I don't care how it is in War Thunder, it'll still be my favorite. But the M36 is definitely a tank I'm looking forward to a lot. And a 90mm gun with what appears to be a very good AP shell, AP explosive shell. And it's at a 5.7 battle rating, so theoretically it's going to run mainly into Tigers and IS-1s and Panthers. And I believe the shell had very respectable penetration against those targets. So, pretty stoked about that, honestly. Now, this update also brought in 2 new maps, at least. I've played the Berlin map, and I've played the Normandy map. I like both. Normandy is very... I've really only been able to drive in the sort of countryside part of it. I haven't driven on the beach, and I haven't driven in the town yet. But from what I can tell, it's very hedgerow country, and I've only got to play it a couple times, but the big concern I have on it is can you turn off all that vegetation that's covering the map? So if you can, that map is going to be very difficult to play on in some game modes. If you can't, if it's like solid, if it's always there, then I like the map design. I think it's very cool. I mean, I like the map design just as it stands. It's a very pretty, very cool map. I just hope that they've taken into account that the whole half of that map is determined by cover and sneakiness, which can be easily exploited by turning off vegetation, which I'm not a fan of. So that's my only concern with that map. The Berlin map I actually like a lot simply because there really is no vegetation. It's a ruined city. There's no vegetation in a ruined city. There's rubble everywhere. It's flat, relatively flat. There's lots of craters and river things. It's nice. It's actually, I think, a pretty well done map. I've only played it once, maybe twice. But both games I had on it I thought were pretty fun. It's, at least the games I play on have always been really misty and foggy, and that just adds something to it, and I like it. It's a cool map. Very cool map design. But moving on away from the update, back into real life, I guess. So like I said, classes ended, this is exam week, and I just have a tremendous amount of things I have to do. I'm going to be traveling a fair amount. I got to drive home, or at least back to my parents' house. So, end of this week, I mean, I finished with exams on Thursday, and I'll be driving back, presumably then, and I'll be home on the weekend, which will be nice. But it's just been really hectic, and I know when a lot of you subscribed to a channel where me or my brother responded fairly regularly to comments, at least once a day. What I used to do is once a day I'd respond to comments, just because it was easier for me to do it that way. I didn't have a lot of time, but at least that way I could, at least I would get to respond to all the comments I wanted to. Now, I haven't been able to do that recently, and I feel bad about that because I read every single comment. There isn't a comment I haven't read, because on my phone I get the emails for whenever someone comments, and like when someone subscribes I get an email about that. Sometimes, not always, for some reason. But whenever someone comments, I get an email, and I always read it. Because I check email a lot. So the second I get a comment, a lot of times I already know, or at least within the hour I know and I've read it. And it makes me sad that I haven't been able to comment back. So I'm going to be trying my best to put more emphasis on that. But it probably won't come into effect until after exams, just because it's exams, it's finals. I want to end the year on the right note. So, I want to say sorry for not being as, I guess, what's the right word for that? Not being as, I don't know, not responding to comments as much as I really should be. Especially because I read them all, so I know what you'll be saying. And a lot of times, sometimes they're questions that I want to answer. I just don't have time. I got to study. I got to do this. I got to do that. But I'm going to try and go back through. I'm going to try and find a day once I'm home to go back through the log of comments and respond to as many as I can. And hopefully that can make it up to go. And then I'll work on. Then I'll obviously be taking care of the comments that come in after that. And I don't want to say don't comment. I want you guys to comment. I like it. I like reading thoughts and opinions or whatever y'all have to say. It's something I really like doing. I just have to find the time to put in the extra step from my end, right? So don't stop. Keep commenting, please. But if I don't comment back, that's kind of why. But hopefully I'll get over this hump in terms of schoolwork, and we'll be back into the normal swing of things. That also has something to say about the sort of output of videos on this channel. There's been times where it's been every other day. There's been times where it's been a couple days before a video comes out. Reviews have fallen off, revisits have fallen off, and that's not something I want to do. And honestly, I don't like that that's where we've gotten to, but I just don't have as much time to play. If I don't have enough time to comment, I certainly don't have enough time to play as much as I need to get some of these clips out and to grind certain tanks so I can make reviews on them, or play them to the point where I feel I can give an honest opinion and give a quality opinion, at least from my perspective. So it's all about, I don't want to put out like a shoddy review because it doesn't do anyone any good. I mean, it just honestly, I want the reviews to have sort of, I want the reviews that me and my brother put out there to have a reputation of being thorough and quality. You know, after you watch, if you watch the whole thing or even parts of it, you have a good idea of what you're getting yourself into, at least from perspective of someone who's played the tank a decent amount. So I don't want to compromise that. So that's why they haven't been coming as much. But I'm working on it. Don't worry. Working on my American tank destroyers, but I probably won't make a tremendous amount of progress until summer starts for me. But anyway, that's a lot to put out there. I hope you guys are enjoying the new patch. I haven't really seen anything really negative about this patch, other than I think it was either the M36 or the M18's gun doesn't recoil inside the cabin, which is a travesty. Not really. I saw that on Reddit and I thought that was funny. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you're enjoying the patch. And yeah, I hope if you're going through finals, good luck. And yeah, I don't have anything else to say, I guess. But anyway, I've been Corny Swiss, and I'll see you next time.